Hey YouTube, this is Dean making another vid. If you like my content, please consider hitting the like button. Also, please consider subscribing, as it is very much appreciated. Okay, watched a tutorial on how to make antler or file strikers and antler, a more classy build of an antler file striker by Samis Slavu, 1981. I hope I'm saying your name right, and I apologise if I didn't. I'm terrible at saying names. As you can see, I have made a fair few. I love making these sort of strikers. Very classy builds. I'll do my fire ones first. Many a fire has been made just with a snapped off file, ground to shape, and not necessarily even just ground to shape, just snapped off and done. I think that was one of my first ones I ever did. Just a very thin, made for a kit. Wasn't put in the forge. Sparks incredibly well, doesn't matter either side. Works fantastic. Nice little file striker. This is a variation of the file striker. It's called the New Mexico coffin because of the coffin shape. Again, just ground to shape, making sure you keep it cool so you don't ruin the hardness. Very traditional type of striker. Quite often you put them in the forge, drift a hole in them because they were worn as a pendant. Spark's nice. Doesn't matter which side you spark on. Sparks well. Very traditional shape. This one was, I think this one's been in the forge. It was going to be as a striker plate. I've ground it to shape, but it never went in something, so it's just a striker now. Sparks well. Another one, this is the end bit, as you can see from the shape. A little bit larger. I like a bit of a larger striker. Really nice. A saved, this one was a triangular file. Had a this has been in the forge. Had a tine. I don't know exactly what I was doing with the tine. I think I had a curl on it. Anyway, it snapped. So I buried it in a bit of wood, covered it in leather just to save it. Works well. Nice thick strike face. Looks good. Seems to work alright. Brings me to this one. This is my multi-tool file striker. Left it big so that you can use it as a file. It's got a file there, file teeth on this side. Scraped, ground the teeth off there so you can use it as a striker for ferro rods. Has a sharpened point here for scraping, however you want. Strike plate there for flint and steel. Nice large area. Really nice concept. If you want a multi-use, multi-purpose concept, this is the go. Just get a file, grind up the various areas and leave on file teeth, grinder area here for scraping, and leave it large, and you have yourself a multi-use item. These are a couple of my most favoured ones. This was made out of a Wiltshire Nicholson Nicholson Australia file, hand smooth. Probably would have been, close to one of the first I ever did. Really, really nice, and sparks incredibly well, even though that area is blunting out. Probably one of the best sparkers I've got as far as file strikers go. It's just, it's a bit big, but it's my type of striker. That's why it's in its own little slipcase. Another one, this one I think was made for a kit. Sparks very well. It's the hand smooth, or second cut, very nice striker. That's why it's in its own little slipcase. That brings me on to my wooden ones. These are Germanic or Japanese inspired. It's a really good way of utilising round or square files. You just bury them in a bit of wood. That's a bit of unknown wood, a bit of Tasmanian blackwood, a bit of rosewood, probably my favourite out of all of the builds, and a bit of camphor laurel. Fantastic, classy builds. These have all been in the forge. These ones are just bent to shape, just to get them to, I just put them in the forge and then forged them down, bent them to shape. This one was actually a file, and then I forged it down to shape and then bent it into shape. So it had a lot of hammer work, but it forged it all to shape. And I think this is by far my favourite. The rosewood is just such a beautiful, beautiful wood. Fits in the hand very well, and sparks incredibly well. Camphor laurel. Unknown. And the Tasmanian blackwood. Then that leads me to my antler builds. These are very classy builds again. I try to match each piece of antler to the striker plate. All of but one is just files buried into antler. That one was re-quenched, so I shaped it, then put it in the quench tank and quenched it again. All these other ones were just files buried in the antler. This is probably my favourite out of all of them. It's just got a beautiful, smooth bit of antler on it. I'll show you this one. Fantastic striker. Sparks really well. Really nice striker. There it is there. Very classy. I think this one was one of the first I ever did. It's a nice piece of antler. Yeah. Just seemed to work out really well. There's almost no difference between the two, between the files. You can see a little bit of a difference. I do think that they, once you quench them again, they do spark a little bit better. But yeah, if you don't feel like you're at a disadvantage if you can't put them back in the quench tank. Yeah, you're going to get reasonable sparks out of them just as files. It's a little one. It's a really nice little one, good for kits. Sparks well. And then the one that I quenched, and there we are. Yeah, I'm not making any more of these antler ones. I've got 4 of them. I'm not making any more of the wooden ones. Again, 4 of them, and I've got plenty of file strikers. The only time I ever make these now are for gifts. So I have trouble getting antler because of the fact that I'm in Australia. Deer are a pest species here in Australia. They're introduced pest species. I can't hunt them because here in Brisbane it's very difficult to get onto deer. There are a couple of deer around, but it's really hard to get the antler. So yeah, I can buy it, but it's hideously expensive. So I don't get a lot of antler. The wooden ones I can make. I do make them on occasion, but they're more for gifts now. I don't do that. I just make them for gifts if I'm going to make them. And the file ones, the only one I'd ever make again is the multi-tool because it's such a cool concept. Yeah, I do make coffins, but I put them in the forge, drift a hole in them, and do that. Also do a dog tag, which is a file, small one, drift a hole in it, and it's a dog tag. So yeah, that's it. I just wanted to show you these. Yeah, files, a snapped off file is the easiest way to get into flint and steel, and many people have just gone their entire flint and steel journey with just a snapped off file. And if you go to the markets, you can usually pick up a vintage file for even $5. And you could make a multi-tool file striker for $5, and you have all you need for flint and steel. Then all you have to do is get yourself some rocks, some char, and away you go. You don't have to go to this sort of extent, but that being said, I like to collect strikers, make my own strikers, do all that. But if you don't want to do that, I suggest making a multi-tool striker. Then you can strike your ferro rods. You can do all tinder preparation with it. You can file with it, and you can strike flint and steel with it. It's a good concept. Anyway, wanted to show you that. Yeah, just wanted to show Sammy my antler builds and my wood builds, some of the file strikers I've got. I've got a lot of others in there, but they've all been put in the forge, changed, mainly New Mexico's and all that. So yeah, it's a little bit different. But anyway, thanks for watching.